So how, from the very beginning, have you been looking at geographic expansion and gearing the business up to be able to do that?
Yeah. So actually, what we did, we built our tech solution uh, based on deep insights from our customers. So this is from day one, or even before day one. When we had the idea, we had different focus groups with the customers in order to create a tech product that's fitting their needs. So we created our tech product based on the insights of the customers, as well as when we, let's say, had some modifications in the product. It was, of course, based on the customer insights and the customer feedback that we have. And then we built the basic fundamentals, and then we added different tech products. Like, for example, we have different set of tech products, some automation for the operations, for the delivery, for the sales team. So we currently have a full suite of tech products that we built. And then after having this kind of strong foundation and even having strong operations inside the country, it gives us a huge opportunity and a huge privilege when expanding to other countries that you already have the tech, as well as having the capabilities. As we speak, we have all our team, it's in-house, the tech team, so this has advantage. And the other part, which is, let's say, finding the right partner. So it's a very important part. When you're expanding to other country, you can go by yourself, but yet, of course, to expand in another country, it's better to have a right partner with experience in this market. It will give you smoother access to the other market. So this is important as well. And of course, as, let's say, from a strategic view, it will save you money, it will save you time. So this is very important in the current situation as well.
So talk to me through the strategic partners that you've worked with to make those expansions happen. Who are they? How did you get them on board? And how much partnership is there really? Is it more of a, there's a license model? Is there equity model? How does that work?
Yeah, okay. So the business model, somehow it evolved. When we started, actually, it was just talking about pharmacy malls in Egypt, which is commission-based, our business model, either from the marketplace or from the financing. But yet, with the expansions, actually, it is SaaS model. It's about, let's say, exporting the tech. So this is the thing, that we build strong tech that we can give it to the others in order to operate at that markets. And the partner we are working with, actually, they are in the healthcare space. So it's an important thing that they are in this market for more than 20 years. They have the experience. They have that huge access to the market. So this is let's say, an important thing. And actually, they are like a corporate rather than a startup. So you need to have the agility to work either with startups, with the big companies as well. So for example, in Egypt, we partner with different banks, different microfinance companies in order to avail financing for our customers. So whatever, let's say, the customer or the market need, you need to be somehow agile and partner with whomever, and to respect as well the process of the partner that you are working with. Either it's, for example, big institution or let's say a startup. Of course, it will be much simpler.
And who's taking you there? Are your investors saying how you're growing the business geographically, or is it more of your direction is taking you there? And then opening up those channels as well. How are you going about actually opening up those channels?
Okay, so actually, I will tell you, it was not, let's say, our direction from day one, but yet we, let's say, so that, let's say, the view on the upcoming couple of years, especially in Egypt, there is drawing out of the investments, all these kind of things. We took the decision from more than 1 year that we need another, let's say, revenue stream with external or foreign currency. Accordingly, we took this direction. But yet, what helped us that we already have the, let's say, the fundamental tech product that helped us to do so.
Got you. And why was getting into a foreign currency important to you?
Actually, it is important for the startup as your, let's say, valuation is based on the US dollars you are raising in US dollars. Accordingly, if there is a devaluation and your revenue streams is only in local currency, you will be impacted severely. So it's protection for your valuation, protection for the current investors that you have in order to ensure that you are not having down rounds. So it's a good thing that you continue growing as well as raising your valuation. And of course, the other part, huge part of your spending is based on US dollars, either the needed hardware or either the cloud, all these things, it's paid in US dollars. Accordingly, having an income with the foreign currency is very important to sustain the business and make it somehow more attractive and to de-risk this for the investors. So this is a very important thing as well, yeah.
Amazing. So talk to me about your investors. Have you raised? How much have you raised? Over what period does that look like?
Okay. So actually, we raised $2 million US. Mainly, we have a huge number of investors. Actually, African investors, global investors, some investors from Asia, from Egypt, from North Africa, South Africa. So we have a huge number of investors, mainly VCs. Yep. So this is our investors. Yeah.
Awesome. And what's your relationship like with your investors?
Okay. Of course, the relation between a founder and the investor, it's very, very important. So the role of the investor, it will support you either with connections, either with giving you the exposure needed to capture those opportunities. So for example, when we needed to expand to Saudi, I had the opportunity to attend one of the biggest conferences there. Actually, it was sponsored by one of our investors. So this is the relation that I have with our investors. And on the other hand, to keep, let's say, a good relation with your investors, of course, they need to be engaged, maximum engagement. Having regular updates about the business, the performance, all this kind of things, in order to ensure that it's a long-term relation. So, for example, we raised, as well as some of the investors reinvested or did a follow-on investment, which is, this couldn't be done if we didn't do the homework, which is sending the regular updates. Let's say, integrating or having the investors not only communicating the numbers, but communicating the numbers, the culture, what's the company is doing in attending different events, what's your vision, what's the partnerships that have been doing in the past couple of months. All this, let's say, dynamics, it needs to be communicated to the investors. It's not only about the numbers, but yet the culture that you are building in the company, who's building the company, all this kind of things, which is some let's say, startups will send only, I did this number and that number of acquired customers and that's it. So no, it's not about not just numbers, but yet it's about the story. Yeah. So you need to communicate the story even for your investors in order to ensure that you are getting their, let's say, interest. For example, some of the investors have over 100 portfolio companies. Yeah. How you stand out within those couple of companies. So it's not only about bringing the investor, but keeping you on top of mind of the investor as well.
And as a key part of your growth, being able to bring those investors on board to go into new markets and to be able to tap into their networks so that they can open those for you?
Of course, that's very important to have the investors that they will give you access to market. So as mentioned, we have multiple African investors. So this is one of the key things that we were keen from the early beginnings, as we see our solutions not only for Egypt, it's mainly for all the emerging markets, especially Africa. So this is why we try to have investors from multiple countries to have access to those markets once we expand, as well as, of course, the insights, the partnerships that we can have from the connections of the investors at those markets. So this is one of the key things that we focused on. And of course, the other part, which is having investors, global investors, especially from US, it's very helpful, especially with the, let's say, the large rounds. So this is the thing, that if you need to go Series A and beyond, You need access to capital, and of course, US is the major player in this space. So accordingly, we have investors from the US as well in order to secure, let's say, our future raising.
Yeah. And tell me, where are you at in your call it profitability journey? Are you at break even? Are you beyond that?
Okay. So currently it is a break-even point. So this is, let's say, on a company level. So this is the where we stand. We are heading to profitability. So this is the thing that we changed the direction actually. At the beginning, of course, it was growing, acquiring customers, all of this, let's say, KPIs that we followed. But yet currently, we are moving more into building a more sustainable business rather than being dependent on the investments. But yet, investments is currently not for, let's say, the sustainability of the business rather than accelerating growth. So this is what we're trying to do. Currently, we are break even. We are trying to go to the profitability, or we will go for the profitability within the upcoming 6 months, and then afterwards, of course, if we are raising for market expansion or let's say having a new business line, not for let's say the continuity of the business.
So one of the key things that I remember for our just introductory conversation was that you're at 150 people already.
Yeah.
And you've raised $2 million. The numbers there don't quite add up. There's obviously something you've done behind the scenes to make that work and get to break even.
Yes.
How have you done that?
So actually it is, let's say, the culture and the selection criteria that we had from the early beginnings, which is having the right caliber, even if he don't have the enough expertise or experience. So rather than having, for example, someone with 10 years of experience, having like X salary, you can have someone with, let's say, decent experience, like 2 years, but a very good caliber with like half or even quarter this salary. And you invest somehow in those people to get them more advanced and to give you the results that you want. So this is mainly what we focused on, which is having the right talents and giving them the opportunity, the education. And the good thing about this, you will be surprised by the stickiness as well as the retention of those people in the company, as you are, let's say, give them the opportunity, you give them the knowledge. They are currently in a whole new level in their experience and their capabilities. So there will be loyal for the company. So we are not only bringing people to, let's say, work in the company, but yet we invest in the people as well in order to get them up to the level of the competition and much better as well. Yeah.
Awesome. And on the point of your team and the talent around you, are you a single founder? Is there people around you?
Okay, so actually we are 4 co-founders. So this is the important part as well. I don't see that a company with a single founder is a good idea, to be honest. So having multiple founders, of course, capitalizing on our expertise. Mainly all of us are coming from different backgrounds with 10 years plus experience in big names, companies at different sectors, mainly multinationals. So we have different experience, different connections. So this has, of course, helped us in creating what we build. And on the other hand, of course, distributing the, let's say, the work between, for example, I'm attending this event, the operations still operating in Egypt and Saudi, whatsoever, as well as on the other hand, of course, there is, let's say, hard times at any startup. If you have someone who's, let's say, standing and let's say, if you are down, he's supporting you, it's very, very important. So I see that the idea of having a single founder not only is a problematic as you having all the responsibilities, but yet at sometimes let's say the emotional support between the founders is what keeps things going.
And talk to me about the skill sets that each of you brings to the table and why you selected to work with your co-founders.
Yes. So let's say the skill sets, which is mainly coming from our experience at different corporates. So corporates, I see that's a very good experience that, for example, the quality of anything you deliver, it needs to be with very high standards. So this was embedded in our DNA as a company from day one, in the branding, the website we delivered at the beginning, all the products that we deliver. All the people that saw the products, okay, it is a multinational company. So this was the feedback that we had in the early beginnings when even they don't know the company. So this is a thing. The other part, which is, as mentioned, which is being good with numbers, either financials, either what KPIs to look at. Of course, it took years. Took years of learning in corporates to learn so. From my experience, like 6 or 8 years at least to be good at those things. Yeah. So we skipped, let's say, the learning phase during our corporate experience. For myself, it's 12 years. The others are 10 years plus. So it's a huge number of years, as well as, of course, the management style, to manage the team, to communicate with a partner or in a project, or to manage a project, all this kind of things. It is a huge and important set of skills that you acquire through your experience in the corporate, and you need to ensure that you are helping the company or the startup with those set of skills in order to get it in a faster pace than let's say, the others. Yeah.
So let's just play a bit of a mental game. You've had 12 years of corporate experience and then got into the startup world.
Yeah.
What do you think would have been like if you did it the other way around? And you started a business straight out of university and then started looking at the corporate world afterwards?
To be honest, I think it will not fly. It would most probably it would fail if, I respect a lot my experience, my learning that I had through the 12 years.
Yeah.
Of course, it added a lot to my personality, added a lot to my, let's say, understanding of the business. Of course, it will be so hard if coming out of the university and starting your own business. Yeah. It's super. From my experience, it's super wrong. At least you need 2 to 3 years at a company or a startup somehow to gain some experience, even the market, not only about, let's say, the set of skills, and then build your own thing. Yeah. So this is important as well.
And then we've got time for one last question. I'll keep it very short before we hand back over. But do you think you can go back to working in corporates and back to the corporate lifestyle?
Actually, maybe yes. I don't see it as a bad place at all. So it can be done, of course, if managing a company that's operating different, let's say, countries, different continents, having a C-level position. Of course, it will be good. Yeah, based on let's say, after an exit, what's the direction? For me, it will be either, for example, going into the VC space or going back to, let's say, big corporates. It can be done. It's not a no-go. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Brett. So let's see if we do have some questions from the floor, but such a great conversation. Do we have any questions for the gentleman on stage? No questions. I do have a quick one for you, though, Ahmed. You mentioned the 4 founders. I would love to know handling of, I don't want to say conflict, but we all have different personalities.
Yes.
So handling those instances in, the different personalities and disagreements even.
Yeah, so it's very important. Actually, I'm the quiet guy. So the other people, maybe they are more crazier than me, which is you need in the, let's say, a team, someone who's quiet and someone who's somehow more into action, and especially people, sales and operations, they need to do so. But let's say the compatibility and let's say the understanding between the founders is very, very important to have, as well as the decision, any major decision in the company. It's about engaging the team and having the input and the insights from all the team, rather than someone, even CEO. It's not that direction. Of course, it's a collective decision. Yeah.
Fantastic. Brett, any last
you.
words from you before we say goodbye on stage?
No, I'm just excited to come visit you in Egypt and see where the
Yeah.
business is whenever I manage to get out there.
I will be waiting for you, but
That'll be
in
good.
the summer it will be better. Yeah. Cool.
Fantastic. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, gentlemen. It was great having you on stage. A round of applause, CEO, the Series A stage. It was a nice fireside chat we just had there now.